Hello everyone. In the last video we have seen a method to find out a solution of non-homogeneous Fredholm integral equation with the symmetric kernel. Okay, and we have seen that we get the solution of the equation in the form y of x equal to f of x plus lambda times summation m going from 1 to infinity. Here we have the resolvent kernel, that is integral xi m star of t xi m of x divided by lambda m, sorry, this integral is here in terms of resolvent kernel, right? So lambda m minus lambda, this is the resolvent kernel, into f of t dt. Okay, so this is the form of the solution which is absolutely and uniformly convergent series. Okay, so we have obtained the solution in absolutely uniformly convergent series, and where the equation was y of x equal to f of x plus lambda times integral from kx comma integral from a to b kx comma t y of t dt, and kx comma t was a symmetric kernel and lambda is not the eigenvalue of the kernel kx comma t. Okay, now suppose if it is a case like we have this equation, okay, and kx comma t is a symmetric kernel, but lambda is the eigenvalue of the equation of the symmetric kernel kx comma t, then what will happen is in this term, okay, when these terms vary, m going from 1 to infinity, right? So suppose we have some eigenvalue which is equal to lambda. Okay, then let us call that as some lambda k. Then there may be some repeated values. Okay, so there may be lambda k plus 1, lambda k plus 2, and so on, lambda k dash. Okay, so the eigenvalue lambda may be repeated these many times, 1 2 3 and so on till k dash times. Okay, so when we are taking these lambdas, lambda m, okay, it will so happen that one of for some particular m, okay, that m will be equal to one of these numbers, okay, that is k plus 1, k plus 2 and k dash. Okay, or I can say suppose lambda is repeated 5 times. Okay, so k5. Okay, so lambda k plus 1, lambda k plus 2, lambda k plus 3, k plus 4, k plus 5. So lambda is the eigenvalue which is repeated 5 times. Okay, but when we took the eigenvalues here, we had taken them all distinct. Okay, so definitely there will be one m which is equal to one of these numbers, okay, one of these indices, k plus 1 or k plus 5. Okay, and at that particular thing, that lambda m will become nothing but lambda. Okay, and once it becomes lambda, you can see here this denominator, it will become 0, so this term becomes not defined. Now under this case, what do we do? How do we find out the solution? So there what will happen is, suppose this is eigenvalue lambda, then corresponding to lambda we will get some eigenfunctions. Let us call them as some eigenfunction phi 1, phi 2 and phi p. Okay, we will get some p linearly independent eigenfunctions corresponding to eigenvalue lambda. Okay, so when we had considered the sequence for this xi m, those were the eigenfunctions. Okay, so corresponding to this eigenvalue, whatever are the eigenfunctions, one from among them will be there in this xi m. Okay, so that is the thing that we will have. But if you notice here, for lambda m, for some particular m, lambda m will be equal to lambda. Okay, and therefore this denominator will become equal to 0. So in order to for the solution to exist, it is necessary that, or I can say, the solution of that integral equation where this is eigenvalue, this lambda is the eigenvalue. So for that particular equation the solution will exist if and only if that the function f, okay, the function f and is orthogonal with all these eigenfunctions. Okay, because it is this, that means f with the eigenfunction phi 1, this is 0, then inner product of this with phi 2 is also 0, and so on. Okay, if this condition is happening, then only this equation will have a solution. And if you remember, when we studied the Fredholm alternative theorem, that time also we had the same condition. Okay, that means corresponding to the eigenfunctions of the transposed equation. Okay, so f is orthogonal to all the eigenfunctions of the transposed equation, then only the given Fredholm integral equation was having a solution. Okay, a similar thing will be happening here. So in this equation, for some particular m, that lambda m, in this summation it is this, right? So it is f of x plus lambda times integral of one term plus m equal to 1, then m equal to 2, plus so on, and this full thing is multiplied to f of t dt. Okay, so in this, one of these will be, for some particular m, we will get in the denominator 0. Okay, because that lambda m will be equal to lambda. So for this term to become valid, we will need that in the numerator this is also equal to 0. That is, how this one will become 0? That one will become 0 only if, because what is there in the numerator? It is xi m star of t and xi m of x. Okay, and outside is f of t. So when you take this f of t inside, what you get? We get that xi m star t f of t dt. Okay, so I am expanding this bracket. So those are several integral signs, no? So for that thing, it should, in the numerator we will have this quantity. So if this is equal to 0, means what? F is orthogonal to the eigenfunction xi m. Okay, that is means eigenfunction corresponding to eigenvalue lambda. So if this is happening, then we will have 0 by 0 form for that particular term. We will have 0 by 0 form, which is the indeterminate form, and we take it to be equal to some constant a. Okay, so whenever this indeterminate form that exists, then we will have the solution of this Fredholm integral equation. Okay, but if lambda is not the eigenvalue, then we have the direct formula. Okay, now I will take the problems which cover all these cases, and then you will understand it better. Now let us look at the first problem. solve the symmetric integral equation y of x equal to x plus 1 the whole square plus 1 into integral from minus 1 to 1 x into t plus x square plus t square, this full thing, into y of t dt. Okay, so we want to solve this equation which has the symmetric kernel. Now if you observe, you can solve this equation also by using the separable variable type method. Okay, but now we will solve this by using the symmetric kernel method. Okay, so is it symmetric? Yes, kx comma t will be equal to kt comma x. You can check that. In fact, it's the real one, so I'm not considering that bar. Okay, so first we will have to check it is this eigen lambda is equal to 1. So if lambda equal to 1 is not the eigen value, then we can easily write the solution, find the solution by using the formula which we have derived just now. Okay, and if suppose it is the eigen value, then we will have to see what is to be done. Okay, then we will have to check whether this function f is orthogonal with the eigen function. Okay, so first we will have to find out what are the eigen values and then we can proceed. So how do we find out the eigen values for this? For that, you can see here we will have to use the separable kernel type method. Okay, so if we have kx comma t is what? X into t plus x square t square. Okay, so what we do is we first find eigen values and eigen functions of the homogeneous Fredholm integral equation, which is y of x equal to lambda times integral minus 1 to 1 xt plus x square t square y of t dt. Okay, so I have taken it as lambda, and then we will find out what are the values of lambda, and then we will know whether lambda equal to 1 is the eigenvalue or not. Okay, so the first step is find out the eigenvalues and eigenfunctions corresponding to the homogeneous Fredholm integral equation, which is of this type. Okay, so how do we find out eigenvalues and eigenfunctions? So first we will have to calculate what is a11. So you will notice that a11 is, see, a1 of x is x, a2 of x is what? X square, b1 of t is what? A t, and b2 of t is equal to t square. Okay, so a11 will be equal to 2 by 3. You can check this by calculating it. Formulas you already know. a12 will be equal to 0, then a21 will be also equal to 0, and a22 will be equal to 2 by 5. Okay, so now I can write the equation c1 is equal to lambda times c1 into a11. a11 is 2 by 3 plus lambda times c2 into, I am considering this homogeneous equation. Okay, and I am finding the eigenvalues and eigenfunctions for this homogeneous equation. So lambda times c2 into a12. that is 0. Second equation will be C2 equal to lambda times C1 into A21, which is 0, plus lambda times C2 into A22, which is 2 by 5. So this tells us that we get this system: C1 into 1 minus lambda times 2 by 3 equal to 0, and this equation tells us that C2 into 1 minus lambda times 2 by 5 is equal to 0. So now we will have to check the determinant. What is d of lambda now? D of lambda will be equal to 1 minus lambda times 2 by 3, here 0, this is 0, 1 minus 2 by 5 times lambda, determinant equal to 0. This implies the value of lambda will be equal to 3 by 2 and 5 by 2. Okay, if you solve this, we will get lambda value equal to 3 by 2 and 5 by 2. Now you can check here. In the given equation, in the question, it is lambda value is equal to 1, and therefore it is not equal to any of the eigen values. So hence we can nicely get the solution in terms of resolvent kernel by using the uniformly and absolutely convergent series formula, which we have already derived in the last video. Okay, so once we get the eigen values, we will have to find out the corresponding eigen function. Okay, so to find eigen function for lambda equal to 3 by 2, what is the system that we have? We have this system with us, right? C1 is equal to 1 minus lambda times 2 by 3 equal to 0, and C2 equal to 1 minus lambda times 2 by 5 equal to 0. So in this particular system, we will substitute lambda equal to 3 by 2. So what will happen? C1, the first equation will vanish. Okay, and in the second equation, what we will get? Second equation will imply that C2 is equal to 0, and we get that C1 is arbitrary. Okay, and therefore what will be the form of the solution, meaning the eigen function? Let us call it as y1 of x. So the solution will be, so corresponding to this equation, how do we write the solution? We write the solution in this form, that is, it is a homogeneous equation, so that f of x part we don't have. Then we write lambda into C1 into a1 of x, okay, plus lambda C2 into a2 of x. Okay, but in our case, lambda is equal to 3 by 2, C1 is arbitrary, so let us keep it as some c, constant c, and a1 of x is nothing but x, plus lambda is 3 by 2, C2 is equal to 0, so this second term will go. So what is our first eigen function corresponding to eigen value 3 by 2? It is 3 by 2 c into x. Okay, now for simplicity, let us set 3 by 2 into c to be equal to 1. Okay, so this is a constant thing, so let us set this to be equal to 1, and in fact it is possible we can choose that c1 to be this to be equal to 1, because it is a homogeneous equation, and if some function is a solution, then any linear combination or scalar multiple of that function will also be a solution. So this will make no harm. So let us put this set this 3 by 2 into c to be equal to 1. Then what we will get? The y1 of x is, so our eigenfunction y1 of x is equal to x. Okay, and the corresponding, we don't want just the eigenfunctions. If you remember, when we in the last video, when we were deriving the solution, we have considered the normalized orthonormalized functions. Okay, not only the eigenfunctions, we have normalized them and then taken them. Okay, so this is just the eigenfunction. So what will be the normalized corresponding function? And the corresponding normalized function is given by, let us call it as xi1 of x. Okay, so xi1 of x will be y1 of x divided by norm of y1 of x. Okay, and what will be the norm? So let me calculate xi1 of x here. Xi1 of x will be, y1 of x is x, norm is what? Square root of the inner product of y1 with y1. Okay, so inner product of y1 with y1 is what? Inner product of y1 of x dx, integral is from -1 to 1, and it should be a square root of this. Okay, so that will be x by this full thing raised to half, integral from -1 to 1 x square dx. Okay, so that will be x divided by so this will be x cube by 3, 1 by 3. So from -1 to 1. Okay, so what we will get? We will get this as so 1 by 3 minus 2 by 3 by 2. Okay, so this will be square root of 3 by square root of 2. Okay, and to remove this square root, let me okay, we can write it as, I will multiply this by root 2 and here root 2. So I will get root 6 into x by 2. Okay, so this is our first normalized eigen function. Now to find eigen function for lambda equal to 5 by 2. Okay, so what system we have? We have this system, right? So this system, that is system star. In this system we will substitute lambda equal to 5 by 2. So in the first case, when I put 5 by 2 in the first equation, what will that equation imply? It will imply that C1 is equal to 0. In the second equation, when I put lambda equal to 5 by 2, it will imply that C2 is arbitrary. Okay, so this tells us that C1 is equal to 0 and C2 is arbitrary. Okay, so how do we find out the corresponding eigenfunction? Let us call it as y2 of x. Y2 of x will be lambda times c1 a1 of x plus lambda times c2 a2 of x. So this will be lambda is equal to 5 by 2, c1 is 0, so the first term will go, plus lambda is 5 by 2, c2 is arbitrary, let us call it as some c, and a2 of x is nothing but x square. Okay, so now set 5 by 2 into c to be equal to 1. So what is our second eigenfunction? Eigenfunction is x square. Okay, and the corresponding normalized eigenfunction will be xi2 of x, which will be y2 of x divided by norm of y2 of x. Okay, so now this will be x square divided by square root of integral from -1 to 1 x raised to 4 dx. So this will be x raised to 5 by 5, so that will be so here we will get this as square root of 2 by this 5. So I will multiply by root 2, divide by root 2, I will get x square into root of 10 divided by 2. So this becomes our second eigen function. Okay, so now we have xi1 of x as root of 6 into x by 2, and xi2 of x as, this is for lambda 1 which is 3 by 2, this is for lambda 2 which is 5 by 2. xi2 of x is root of 10 into x square by 2. Okay, but if you go back and see that series representation, in order to write the solution in terms of that series, we will also require f1 and f2. Okay, so let us calculate what is f1 and f2. So f1 is integral from -1 to 1. f1 means what? It is this coefficient, right? So it will be the inner product of f with xi1. Okay, and f2 will be what? f2 will be inner product of f with the function xi2. Okay, so f1 is f of x into xi1 of x dx. So that is equal to integral from -1 to 1 x plus 1 the whole square into xi1 of x. So it is root of 6 by 2 into x dx. Okay, you will observe that if you calculate this, you will get this as 2 root of 6 by 3. Okay, and f2 will be integral from -1 to 1 f of x into xi2 of x dx. Okay, so that will be equal to 8 into root of 10 divided by 15. Okay, so in our case here, for the given problem, lambda is equal to 1, which is, therefore lambda is not equal to lambda 1 and lambda is not equal to lambda 2. Okay, therefore the given equation will possess a unique solution. And how that unique solution will be given? It will be given by the formula y of x equal to f of x plus lambda times integral summation m going from 1 to 2, because we have only two eigenvalues, right? So that was, in general we had written it till infinity, but now we have found out the eigenvalues and they are only 2. So we will have m going from 1 to 2, and here we will get this as fm by lambda m minus lambda. Okay, we can in fact write, we have calculated fm, so we will write it in terms of not the resolvent kernel, but we will explicitly find out what is the solution. Okay, so into xi m of x. Okay, so this will be f of x plus lambda is 1. Okay, in fact f of x also I can substitute. F of x is x plus 1 the whole square. Okay, plus lambda is 1 summation, this will be f1 by xi 1 of x divided by lambda 1 minus lambda plus f2 xi 2 of x divided by lambda 2 minus lambda. So this is the solution. So we'll substitute all the quantities, x plus 1 the whole square. So lambda 1 is 3 by 2 minus 1, so it will be 1 by 2 plus here 5 by 2 minus 1, because lambda is equal to 1 from the given equation. Okay, so that will be 3 by 2. And what is f1? F1 we have got it as 2 root 6 by 3. 2 root 6 by 3, and xi 1 of x is x, and f2 we have got it as 8 root 10 by 15. 8 root 10 by 15, and xi 2 of x is x square into root of 10 by 2. Okay, even here also some constant was there, right? So for root of 6 by 2, this is root of 6 by 2. So if you solve that, you will observe that we get x plus 1 the whole square plus this will be so this will be 4 into x this will be 4 into x plus this, if you see, we will get 8 divided by 15 into 2 into 10 2 by 3. So 16 by 9. So here we will get 16 by 9 into x square. Okay, so this is x square plus 2x plus 1 plus 4x plus 16 by 9 into x square. So this will be 25 by 9 x square plus this will be 6x plus 1. Okay, so this is how we have got the solution y of x of the given Fredholm integral equation. Okay, now see here, in this case I didn't write the resolvent kernel formula. Okay, you can also write this same solution by using the resolvent kernel formula. Okay, but then what we do is, if f of x is clearly mentioned what it is, then we can easily calculate what is f1, f2, f3 and fm. Okay, therefore we calculate what is f1, f2, fm and substitute it here so that we get some nice function of x. Okay, but if f is not given, then we will have no other choice and we will have to write the solution in terms of resolvent kernel. Okay.